guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode, and today we're going to talk about gold. Right, so I'm going to talk to you about gold. Why? Because a lot of people are asking me quite recently saying, should we invest in gold? Should we invest in gold ETF? Should we buy sovereign gold bond? Do we do digital gold, or should we do physical gold itself? Now, I realize that there's a lot of confusion with respect to gold and whether you should even invest or not, and if you have to invest, how much to invest in gold. So today's video, I'm going to just do a very quick, short personal finance video on gold and all the different things we need to understand about gold. Okay, so without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Now, the first thing is you need to understand why is gold investment important, right? And we need to understand for that what's so great about gold. Now, what's so great about gold is that firstly, it has been there from thousands and thousands of years. It is one of those metals that don't get eroded very easily. It's one of those metals that actually survive the test of time. And also because the demand of gold is finite, it is not infinite. So the demand of gold is finite, and also a lot of people want gold. It keeps going up, right? So this is why gold is so important. Now, why you should invest in gold or even silver for that matter is because one, a history of holding its value. So if you think about it, right, gold and silver you can hold from a very long period of time, right? But if imagine if I had a lot of copper in my hands, would you actually go buy it? No, right? So gold and silver is very important. Also very high liquidity rate. Why? Because a lot of people are ready to buy gold and silver off you. There's a lot of demand for them, especially in India. Massive demand. We'll come to all of that. Product diversification, good for you. It's inflation proof, deflation protection, and they have a universal value. So I can take this gold, go tomorrow to Dubai and sell it. I'm still okay, right? Now, if you look at the history of holding its value, gold, by the way, has always beat inflation, right? If you look at the past 25 years compounded annual growth rate of gold, they have definitely short beat inflation as well. I think they're at 9.5% compounded annual growth rate for the last 25 years. And unlike the paper currencies, their value is constantly rising all the time, right? It's not devaluing, it's actually rising. So one bar of gold, right? One bar of gold, if I have it, I wish I had one bar of gold right now, but one bar of gold would actually be different in value after 10 years, because the same bar of gold, if I go sell it, it becomes more expensive. Whereas if I have 100 rupee note and after 10 years if I go ask for 100 rupee note, kya karega? It's useless, right, at that point. So gold is something that is important. In the last 10 years you can see the rise that has happened in gold, especially you see how it's gone up, right? Now look at this, look at some important facts in this graph that you see here. The gold price shot up in 2007, and then when the 2008 crash happened, even gold went down. Even though gold is inversely proportional to the stock market, gold went down at that point, and then the stock market went up. And now if you see again, the gold rallied for a bit and now it's gone down again, right, in the recent few years. Now, why are they so much in demand, or why is gold in demand, is something that we need to understand, apart from being a finite resource in the world, right? Now, in India, a lot of people have been buying gold from a very long period of time. If you look at your parents, if you ask your mom and dad, how much gold do you have, they'll tell you that they've been saving gold from when they started earning itself. And I'll tell you one very interesting fact about why they have saved so much gold also. Now, if you look at other countries, now in India, gold was something from a savings perspective. A lot of people bought gold from a savings perspective. But you do the same thing, go to Dubai. In Dubai, a lot of people buy gold not only for saving, but also for the bling, right? They like having gold bars. It's a sign of status and symbol that, you know what, I have so much gold. So in a lot of countries, gold is not even in demand, by the way, right? India, high demand. China, high demand. Even in Dubai and Saudi countries, high demand. But if you go to UK and Europe, I mean, they're okay. Gold, theek hai, chalega, whatever it is, right? Now, in China as well, gold bars were a traditional form of saving, and the demand for gold had kept going up. India is the second largest gold consuming nation, and it has many use cases there, right? Especially with jewelry. And we all know our Indian weddings, right? That's when all sub mom or dad ka sab jo hidden jewelry hota hai na, wo wedding season pe baar aata hai, right? It happened with me also during my wedding as well. I saw a lot of my mom just kept opening box after box after box, and I'm like, itna gold car, where did you keep so much gold, right? Now, during the wedding season, everyone's gold bahar aata hai. Gold is also a form of gifting. So that is when we see the demand for gold is insane in India. And why it is also good, because it is inflation proof, right? Gold is amazing when it comes to inflation. Why? Because I told you, right, over the last 25 years, it has beat inflation by around 9.5%, whereas inflation average is around 6%. So this is something important. Actually, before that, let me tell you something fun, right? let me tell you why gold is so important in India and how we have started buying so much gold, right? And why it was only there in our parents' generation and not in our generation so much. Now, think about this, guys. If you had 10,000 rupees in your pocket right now, would you go buy gold or would you go buy stocks or would you go buy crypto? Right? By the way, understand gold, stocks, crypto, mutual fund, real estate, all of these are different investment classes, right? Where I can invest my money and get some return. So I just understand it as different investment classes. So gold is separate, real estate separate, everything separate. Now, in your parents' generation, right, there was no such thing as the stock market. Why? Because stock market actually became famous towards the 2000s, right? Even then it was so difficult because until demat didn't happen, it was all an offline process. So it was a very close knit community. So stock market wasn't even there. Now imagine I'm in 1970, 1980, right? Somewhere around your parents' first earning time, 1980s. If I made money and I wanted to invest, I had a lot of money, I wanted to invest. You know that I only had two investment classes at that point to invest, right? The major two investment classes. One was gold. If I have some money, थोड़ा बहुत gold खरीद लो. And अगर ज़्यादा पैसे है, बहुत कमा लिया, बहुत save कर लिया, then what people used to do is to go buy a land, go buy property. Property was considered the safest form of investment, whereas gold was considered अच्छा खासा investment form, right? So a lot of people went and bought gold and a lot of people went and bought real estate because they only had two investment classes at that point. If you look at today, I have so many options to choose from, right? Because everyone's giving me good returns. Kya karu? So that is why India, if you look at from a predominant perspective, when we love saving, we have the saving culture. But when I have to save, there's either real estate or there's gold, right? And a lot of people at that point, our parents' generation, bought gold because there was nowhere else to keep my money. So gold was something that was out. Today, a lot of people are not buying gold, and we need to figure out why that is happening, because now there are four different forms of gold which we're not understanding, right? So let's look at that. Let me come back to the present. Quick fun fact that was. Now, apart from being inflation proof, it also has deflation protection, right? Because if tomorrow if there's a recession or there's some depression where the purchasing power goes down, right, and it becomes a really bad economy for us, and everything becomes an issue, gold is something that will always go up, right? Whatever happens, whether it's inflation or deflation, gold is just going to go up. Over a period of time, gold always goes up, right? Especially I've seen that during the stock market crashes, gold goes up quite significantly. Why? Because it's like a stable asset for people to invest. Now gold, like every other thing, does not lose its intrinsic value. In fact, wherever you are in the world, if you have precious metals, it is remaining as a precious metal. If I have a bar of gold, I go anywhere in the world and I show them this gold coin, they'll be like, ooh, give me this gold, okay? So now gold is known and valued everywhere. A gold trinket would maintain the same value in USA as well as in Australia, as well in Antarctica, and even in India as well. India, I think, thoda ज़्यादा demand है, वैसे भी, right? Now, because of this, a lot of people like to invest in gold. But then there's a big question. There's so many types of gold. How do we tackle all of that, right? Now, why another reason why a lot of people like gold over any other metal, right? You can be like, Shashank, why aren't you holding steel, or why aren't you holding copper or bronze, right? Because gold has a very high liquidity rate. Liquidity rate means if I want to sell a piece of gold, or if I want to sell my gold bar, I can go anywhere to any jeweler and be like, sun, ये मेरा gold है, चाहिए क्या? They'll be like, cool, this is the rate, give it to me. There's always someone who wants to buy because demand उतना है, so supply भी उतना ही रहेगा, right? Now, investment also gives you privacy. For example, if I have to buy something online, right, everyone knows what I'm holding, but a lot of people I know for a fact, especially with black money, go and buy gold, right? When I remember this point, I don't know how many of you will remember this. Demonetization jab hua tha, guys, everyone, I remember everyone flocked to the streets to do two things. One, fill their petrol for all their cars, fill diesel petrol for all their cars, and then go to the jewelry store and just buy gold as much as possible. And it was an insane rush to all the gold stores. Gold was selling at a premium at that point. So there's a lot of privacy when you come to gold, because why? It is not in a digital format anywhere. So if I want to know how much gold you are holding, I can't do an RTI and figure that out. Right? So that is why it's important. Another major reason for gold is product diversification for portfolio. Right? I always say that you should keep at least 3 to 5% of gold in your portfolio always. Right? At least 5% portfolio of gold should always be there. Now, what type of gold? I will come to that. Now, major part here, guys, this is very important. Please have a look at this. Physical gold versus digital gold. What is important? Now, let me tell you one fundamental problem with physical gold over digital gold, right? Now, physical gold, I have to go buy it. I have to go to some Bima Jewelers or some other jewelry store, stand in line, buy this gold. After buying this gold, it's physical gold, right? I'm already scared that koi chori kar lega. In movies they always show people coming in an omni van and kidnapping you. So then you keep all the gold hidden like this. Now if you keep it at home, kabhi kabhi ghar pe bhi chori hota hai. So a lot of people who buy a lot of gold, you know what they do? Very simple. They go to a bank, get a bank locker, and keep this physical gold in the bank locker. Agreed? Great, right? But do you know that bank locker also charges some money, right? Obviously, bank locker is not free, so you have to sit and pay monthly or yearly for a bank locker also. So that is added in the cost of gold, right? If I bought gold worth of 2 lakhs and my bank locker is 10,000 rupees a year, my actual money of keeping that gold is 2 lakh 10,000. Now, assume if I want to go sell this gold, chalo, ho gaya 2 lakhs, now it's become 3 lakhs, I want to go sell it. What is my procedure? Go to the bank, open the locker, take that gold, put it in my bag, close the locker. Locker, now nothing's in the locker, but I'm still paying that money for the locker. Then I go to another jewelry store and be like, Sun, ye mera hai, le lo please. Then they will take this gold, sell it, and then they will give me the money for that. And then I take that physical cash. If it's physical cash, even worse, I take that physical cash, go to the bank, deposit this physical cash in the bank, and then get my money in my bank account. You know how annoying this process is when it comes to physical gold, right? The difference between physical and digital gold is digital gold, if I want to buy right now, just 2 3 clicks on my phone and I can buy digital gold, right? Physical gold also has a minimum entry criteria. If I have 100 rupees, can I buy physical gold? No. They'll be like, boss, you have to buy 1 gram of gold. So I'll go buy digital gold worth 100 rupees. They'll be like, yeah, bro, come, we're giving you open arms. Come buy digital gold, right? So some of the differences here is physical gold, basically the purity. So a lot of people say it's very pure, 99.5%, 24 karat gold, etc. सब बोलते हैं, but sometimes physical gold may be little screwed up because it might not be 99.5% this. Whereas if you look at digital gold, the purity is guaranteed. You're buying into 99.5. Now physical gold prices also are not uniform because it's different across different regions in India. Whereas digital gold prices are universal across the country. It is a uniform price. Now if you're buying physical gold as an investment, you have to buy coins that are available in certain denominations, 1 gram, 3 grams, 4 grams. I can't take 6.75 grams gold, de do. Right? That guy will be like, get lost, get out of my store. But whereas if it's digital gold, I'll be like, boss, my budget 13,000 rupees and I want 13,000 rupees worth of gold, whatever comes in that. Right? And on cost, if you look at cost, physical gold also has something known as making charges. That is also there in physical gold. That is something that you have to pay. I don't know how much the amount is, but it is not that expensive, but it's still an added cost. Whereas on digital gold, it's just GST that you're paying at that point. Now, if you look at storage from a physical to digital, again, I told you storage, one has to sit, store physical gold, thoda tough hai. When it's online, there's a digital gold locker, but it also depends on whom you're buying it from. So I'll come to that also. Now, if you look at taxation, again, gold comes under capital gains, right? Also, it comes under, sometimes it comes under an income tax. Again, a lot of people don't show it because they buy it under, what do you call that? They buy it with black money. But if you're actually buying it properly, so gains from gold investments are held less than 3 years are taxable as per income tax slab rates. Right, that is also there. Whereas gains from a gold held for less than 3 years are, again, both of it is quite similar and same. Liquidity, obviously, digital gold is better. Now, have you heard of something called sovereign gold bonds, SGB? Right. So sovereign gold bonds is another gold investing asset. So by the way, we found out few gold assets, right? One is physical gold, which was our traditional old school gold. Then we had digital gold. Digital gold, I'll come to what it is. Okay, let me actually tell you what digital gold is right now before I move. So digital gold is basically, there are few companies in India that sell digital gold. Now I don't know how many of y'all have seen this, but if you open Google Pay, right, and there's something known as Gold Locker in Google Pay, right? If you open Google Pay and click on Gold Locker, you will see a brand name called MMTC. I think it's MMTCPAMP, and you can go buy gold there, right? There's a rate, there's amount how much you can buy and how much you can sell. Now, if you look at some exchanges, like for example, Grow Exchange, you can go to Grow Exchange online. There's something called gold, and you can buy gold there also on the Grow Exchange. So both are possibilities are there. Now I'll tell you what I do. Right, I don't know whether I can see this, but every time I get a Google Pay cashback, or I get some cashback from Cred, or I get any cashback from whoever is giving me cashback, 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupee, 4 rupee, I do this thing where every time I get a cashback, I actually go buy into 100 worth of gold. Right, so if I get a cashback of 500 rupees, I buy into 100 worth of gold. So if you look at, I don't know whether it's visible. So what I do is I keep buying stuff like this. These are only when I get cashbacks. Like 9 rupees cashback is 900, and I keep buying the gold right over here. Now here I have like few options as buy, sell, delivery, and even gift. Now again, all this is digital gold, not physical gold, right? So if I want to sell tomorrow and get all this cash into my bank account, I can just click on one option and do it. And if you be like, Shashank, you know what, I don't want to sell, I want delivery, I want physical gold of whatever I have, that is also possible. Or you'll be like, you know what, Shashank, I want to gift this to someone, that is also possible. So these are some advantages of digital gold which is not there in the physical gold element. That is why digital gold is considered slightly better right now. But again, this is only for investment purposes. If I want to go make a nice gold chain, then where do I have to go? Physical gold. Got it? So this is just wanted to give you an insight. Then we come to sovereign gold bonds, एक और instrument, एक और investment assets. थोड़ा confused हो रहा है ना because so much is there. Now sovereign gold bond is basically issued by the government on behalf of, I mean RBI takes care of it, but it's issued on behalf of the government. It is a sovereign wealth. Okay. Now these gold bonds are issued by RBI, which is Reserve Bank of India, on the government's behalf. Right? These are gold bonds, not a physical gold, but gold bonds with the substitute of physical gold. Okay, now the purchase and redemption upon maturity both happens in terms of cash and not gold. So by the end of the maturity you can't be like, अच्छा सुन मैंने इतना gold लिया था ना मेरे को घर पे बेच दे. That doesn't work that way. Now what are some advantages and disadvantages of sovereign gold bond? Now basically what it says is, if you invest in a sovereign gold bond, you get approximately 2 to 2.5% per year interest. So they give you 2 to 2.5% interest as well, and the gold bond also keeps increasing in value over time. Now the redemption automatically gets money automatically comes to your bank account. You don't have to do too much. The only one problem here is you can exit this only after 5 years. So there is a 5-year lock-in. Lock-in means you cannot remove your money. And in fact, if you keep it for 8 years, then apparently the money that you make, there is no tax on this as well. So if you keep it for the entire time of maturity, I think 8 years or 10 years, I'm not sure. If you keep it for 8 years, there is no tax that is there. So you get tax-free returns when you invest in a sovereign gold bond. So that is something also that we have seen. And how to buy it? There are a lot of websites you can go online and buy it. Most of your demat accounts have it. Most of your banks have it. So you can go to a bank, nationalized bank, private banks, your post office, you can go and buy this. Authorized stock exchange available to sell sovereign gold bond also do the same thing. Right now, furthermore, investors applying online will get SGBs that are INR 50 rupees less than the nominal value. Now, if you look at some differences between sovereign gold scheme, gold ETF, which is digital gold, also a part of gold ETF, digital gold, almost similar, and physical gold, right? Now look at this. If you look at physical gold, the returns lowered. Why? Because we have extra charges like making charges. ETF has tracking error, so they're slightly lower than actual return of gold, whereas sovereign gold bond higher than actual return. Why higher than actual return? Because 2.5% extra you get per year as an interest. Safety, physical gold चोरी हो गया तो कंगाल हो गया, whereas gold ETF and all of this is in digitized format, so it's safe. Purity, again, these two are safe. The purity of physical gold questionable. Now if you look at taxation on gains, long term capital gains after 3 years for gold, LTCG again after 3 years for gold ETF, but whereas if you hold SGB until maturity, not 5 years lock in के बाद निकाल दिया तो अलग problem है, but if you hold it until maturity you get tax free returns as well. Now loans, physical gold, as you know, can be used for loans, and I'll come to this very interesting point. You can take loan on all three assets, right? You can be used as a collateral for all three assets. And storage, again, no cost on ETF and sovereign gold bond because it's in digital, whereas if you look at physical, there's a high gold cost, right? So this was some of the examples of how gold is super important when it comes to allocation in your portfolio. Now I'll tell you another fun fact, right? Because gold is such a deep rooted thing in our country, right? If you go to other countries, gold, I mean, if you look at China, yes. If you look at India, yes. Saudi, yes. But if you go to Europe, I told you there's no gold concept there, right? People don't believe in hoarding gold. Do you know how much gold is there in everyone's house? If you had to go to each person's house and ask them the amount of gold they have in India, so much gold is there in India. That because of this unique position India is in right now, that gave rise to a new industry called gold loans. Right? Gold loans is a thing here. It's become very famous here. Why? Because so much gold is there in everyone's house. So if I have too much stress, if there's something really bad that's happened to me, I don't have money, you can assure that most of them have gold at home. So that gold actually is used now, where they can go to all these different Manappuram Gold Finance, IFL Gold Finance, a lot of these gold financing companies. You can keep your gold there and take interest ke saath, you have to pay EMI and you have to take that loan. But that is only allowed in, I mean, that's only great in India. Why? Because India loves gold. Assume this, right? If tomorrow India was a hoarder of copper, or if India was a hoarder of silver, then tomorrow we would have silver loan branches everywhere. But you see how a unique business opportunity comes in such scenarios. This is why it's important, right? Now, for all the youngsters out there who want to keep 3 to 5% invested in gold, sovereign gold bond, I would not I mean, it's good, very good, but it's 5-year lock-in. So if you're okay with that, invest in that. I would really suggest digital gold, right? Because it's like this quick. I keep doing it in the gap as well. I have physical gold, but I don't like it so much. I like digital gold. Physical gold is more for your wife so that she can break it and do something and make one necklace out of it. But for me, from an investment perspective, from a 5% angle, I buy digital gold. So that is how it is. Again, hope you guys like this. It was a quick personal finance episode on gold, but definitely have some allocation in gold. And any questions you guys have, shoot it below, right? So I hope you guys like this video. If you did like it, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please subscribe. I don't want to keep asking it again and again. Awesome. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Bye, guys.